What is combustion? A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. This substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. These combustible substances are called fuel that gives heat during combustion, either as a flame or a glow. As magnesium and charcoal are called combustible substances. Let us find out whether these are combustible or non-combustible. Essential conditions for combustion. Let us perform an activity. Fix 3 lighted candles on a table and put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney in the first case and cover the third chimney in case C. Observe what happens to the flame. The candle burns freely in case A, when air can enter the chimney from below. In case B, where air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. In case C, the flame finally goes off because when the air is not available. It proves that air is necessary for combustion. That is also the reason why blanket is wrapped around the person whose clothes caught fire. Now observe this activity. What do you observe? Different substances catches fire at different temperatures. A piece of paper catches fire at low temperature, while wood catches fire at higher temperature. Kerosene oil also catches fire at lower temperature than wood. That is why kerosene is dropped on wood and it catches fire easily. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. The substances which have very low ignition temperature can easily catch fire with a flame and called inflammable substances. Examples: petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas. A matchstick does not catch fire on its own at room temperature, but when it is rubbed, it attains ignition temperature and catches fire. Take 2 paper cups, one empty and one with water. Put them to the flames. What do you observe? The empty paper cup immediately catches fire, while in second case, the heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. In the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached and it does not burn. Is combustion possible without the presence of combustible substances? No. If there is no combustible substance, combustion is not possible. The three necessary conditions for combustion are presence of combustible substance, availability of oxygen, attainment of ignition temperature. How do we control fire? Fire can be controlled by removing one or more requirements essential for producing fire. If there will be no combustible substance, there will be no fire. Fire can be stopped by cutting the supply of oxygen. This can be done by using carbon dioxide or water vapors, as they will surround the combustible substance and cut the supply of oxygen. Controlling the temperature, that is, bringing the temperature below its ignition temperature. Using water to lower the temperature of combustible substance so that ignition temperature cannot be attained and fire will stop. Fire extinguisher. The most common fire extinguisher is water, but water works only when things like wood and paper are on fire. But water cannot be used if electrical equipment is on fire, as it may conduct electricity and harm those trying to control the fire. Water is not suitable for fires involving oil and petrol because water is heavier than oil and sinks below the oil, and the oil keeps burning on the top. What could replace water extinguisher? Carbon dioxide extinguisher. Carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen and covers the fire like a blanket. The contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off and the fire is controlled. Also, it does not harm the electrical equipments. How do we get the supply of carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide can be stored at high pressure as a liquid in cylinders. When released from the cylinder, carbon dioxide expands enormously in volume and cools down. It forms a blanket around the fire and brings down the temperature of the fuel. Another way to get carbon dioxide is to release a lot of dry powders of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate near the fire. These chemicals give off carbon dioxide near the fire. Types of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. When the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light, the combustion is known as rapid combustion. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly catches fire without any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion, such as white phosphorus. White phosphorus burns in air at room temperature. The combustion in which evolution of heat, light, sound, and large amount of gas takes place after a sudden reaction is called explosion. Flame. Sometimes flames are formed on combustion, such as candle, gas stove, kerosene lamp, Bunsen burner. How does this flame form? The substance which vaporize during burning form flames. Kerosene oil, molten wax forms flame. Charcoal does not vaporize and so does not produce a flame. Different zones of candle flame. Different zones of candle flame are outer non-luminous zone, which may be blue in color and is very hot. Middle zone, which is yellow in color and is moderately hot. Innermost zone, which is yellow in color, is least hot. Luminous zone of the flame has unburnt carbon particles that deposit if any object is placed in it. Which part of flame is very hot? Yes, non-luminous zone is very hot. That is why goldsmiths blow the outermost zone of a flame with a metallic blowpipe to melt gold and silver. What is fuel? A substance that produces heat and light on combustion is called fuel. A good fuel is that has high calorific value, that does not produce gases or residues that pollute the environment, has adequate ignition temperature, cheap, readily available, easy to transport. What is calorific fuel? The amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel is called its calorific value. It is expressed in kilojoules per kg. The fuel with the highest calorific value is hydrogen.